Hi everyone and welcome. Today we have to review this Huibang L-31 multi-band radio receiver bought from AliExpress, and at the time of recording it cost around about £9.60 UK, and that does include tax and shipping, and that works out around about $11.50 US. Now it does pay to shop around on the AliExpress website because the various stores that sell this little set, they do seem to vary in price. Now incidentally, if you're interested in just saving just that little bit more money, then you might want to consider utilising a cashback website. In the UK, that could be in the form of either Quidco or Top Cashback. With either of these, you can get between 3 and 5% of your money back. Now I have no association with these cashback websites, I just thought I'd pass that little tip on to you. Now this was sent in just a thin polythene bag with no bubble wrap protection, but miraculously it survived its journey from China intact. Now it's clearly aimed at the Chinese domestic market, judging by the lack of English in either the packaging or the set itself. But if you're curious as to what that Chinese text says, then I'll try and put a description on the screen for you. Now let's going to open it up and let's see what we actually get for our money. First of all, you get a little charging lead, which is always useful. You get a set of instructions, but these are just in Chinese. Again, underline the fact that I think this is just meant for the Chinese domestic market, but nevertheless, it's a simple set to employ. So here's the set itself. As you can see, it's quite a compact set. Size-wise, we're looking at a unit that is 130 wide, 80 high by around about 32 millimeters deep, and regular viewers know what I'm going to do next. Yes, it's the old mugshot test there for you. Just gives you a better overall idea of proportions. There we go. So what I'm going to do is just take a tour around the set. So looking at the front, we've got our main tuning dial there. It's a 3-wave band set, as you can see. FM coverage is between 87 and 108 megahertz. AM is between 522 kilohertz and 1620 kilohertz, and then finally we have shortwave, and that covers between 7 and 16 megahertz. So obviously not the full shortwave spectrum, that's normally between 3 and 22 megahertz. Now I suspect the reason for this is because you've only got one sweep on that tuning dial, that selectivity is going to be an issue, and I guess they're just trying to just mitigate that just a little bit by just cutting down on the number of available frequencies. Now on that right hand side there, on above that FM, we've got a little indicator there, and that's a supply on indicator, and in fact that's what that Chinese text says. And if you're curious as to what this says, it says full band professional radio. Now that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but to be honest, the Chinese are quite good at doing tongue-in-cheek. So moving to the side, let's see what we've got control wise. First of all, we've got our 3-wideband selector switch there between shortwave, AM and FM. We've got our tuning thumb wheel. Adjacent to that, we then got our combined off, on and volume control. We've got a little headphone socket there. I have checked that out. It is just a mono output, but nevertheless, it's a useful thing to have. We've got a little LED there, it indicates when you charge it. And then finally, we've got our charging port. Moving to the rear, we've got our little aerial. That's 400 millimeters fully extended, so that's not too bad. And then we've got our battery compartment. They give you a little 18650 battery, and that's around about 1200 milliamp capacity, or so they say. Now I always take these with a little bit of a pinch of salt. I tend to find that these capacities just a little bit less than what they advertise, but nevertheless it should last a few hours. Now if you wanted it to last longer, all you could do is just actually just purchase a higher capacity battery if you just wanted a longer playtime between the charges. So let's pop the cover back on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at AM performance first, then we'll look at FM, and then we'll see how good shortwave reception is. So let's take a look at how this little set performs. Okay, so let's have a look at AM or medium wave reception first of all. Now the number of AM stations broadcasting in my area is reducing right down. They're either moving to DAB or to FM, or even just disappearing altogether. But nevertheless, let's see what we can find. Now I've already switched it to AM, so let's pop it on. Now, it might pick up a little bit of noise off the light and the camera, but let's have a look.
Don't worry, it's Wednesday already. It's Friday. You know. Started from the bottom, now the whole Started from the bottom, now we're here. It has to be cleaned up. That's all we got time for. Time. It's just one of the little changes McDonald's have been constantly making.
Nigel Pawley is a media commentator and used to work for a right.
Actually picked up a lot more than I was expecting. So okay, I'm going to try FM now. It's going to pop the aerial up and select to FM, and let's see what we can find.
It's in Gaza. The military says this expressing deep remorse and will investigate. Specialist divers searching for missing mother of three Gaynor Lord have found a body in the River Wensum in Norwich. Norfolk police said
at this stage. I'm also satisfied at the moment, based on the evidence that we have, that
TWCG 15th consecutive.
I'm gonna ask y'all, can I kick the bump? Can I ask y'all?
Our funding goes on Bradford Children's Trust, and they're now got a budget pressure.
You can hear that DSP tuning, can't you?
And he says the job of tea picking didn't change much during his career.
Hear that pulse? Overall, that was pretty good really. So now let's have a look at shortwave performance. Okay, so what I've done, I've reduced the number of electrical devices that I'm using to an absolute minimum, and this of course helps prevent the pickup of electrical noise that they can generate and hence interfere with your shortwave reception. Now I know selectivity is going to be an issue, but let's see what sensitivity is like. And of course, what you pick up depends upon where you are located in the world and what's being broadcast at the time. Now I live in the middle of the UK, it's evening here, so I'm going to pop it on, let's see what we can find. I'll try and do this as slowly as I can.
Well, that's what they did in the actual.
Okay, it picked up a few, not many. Overall, the shortwave reception appears to be okay. Now, I could repeat this on another time and another location and obtain completely different results. So I'm not going to blame the radio for the lack of pickup stations at this particular moment in time. So anyway, what I'm going to do is put the lights back to normal and then we can continue from there. Okay, so we have the lighting back to normal now. So what are my thoughts on this little set? Well, if you're just after a simple to operate radio at a modest price, maybe to have on in the background as you go about your day, then it's absolutely fine. And I have to say its AM performance was pretty decent in my opinion. However, if you're after a set that offers better tuning accuracy and overall performance, then there's two that I'd recommend. If you're after one that's got an analog style tuning dial, then I'd recommend this. This is the Huibang KK9803. It's got very good performance at a very low price. Don't let it look for you. If you're after a radio that's got maybe a digital display for more tuning accuracy, then I suggest this. This being the Prunus J116. And would you believe this costs less than the L-31 that we've just reviewed? And both of these I've done reviews on my channel if you want to have a look at those. So there we go. It's the Huibang L-31 multiband radio receiver. Hopefully this proved useful. If it did, then please give me that thumbs up. That helps others to find this video as well. And as always, I appreciate you watching and I'll catch up with you soon.